Hello everyone. So I'm gonna start with my literature synthesis, and my topic is the 21st century soft skills, effective communication, leadership strategies, and educational technology. So my rationale is that schools are inadequately preparing students with the 21st century skills required to succeed specifically in the areas of communication, leadership strategies, and education technology. So my literature map is basically like this. I divided into three main categories. My three main topics: effective communication, leadership strategies, and I cover some of the main important key points, which basically are that some authors mention that all these three categories are core competencies. Some suggestions that authors say about how to um, improve or strengthen these kind of abilities and skills required. So starting with a background, I'm going to move this here. So employers prioritize critical thinking, communication, and complex problem solving skills when they are making hiring decisions. Tank defined soft skills as personality traits, social gracefulness, fluency in language, personal habitats, friendliness, and optimism to varying degrees. And also Hirsch says that these kind of like they have been paying attention on the importance in the workforce, and they use soft skills, different terminology to refer to soft skills. They also use it as the 21st century skills or non-cognitive skills. And they agree with other authors that communication, leadership, problem solving, initiative, and self-regulation are the main, also teamwork, are the main soft skills required for the 21st century. And they can be used in regardless which kind of job do you have. So what I am intending to demonstrate with this literature review is to raise awareness regarding the gap in the expected mastery of the 21st century soft skills and the explicit and implicit training for such skills, and also at the same time raise awareness regarding the lack of resources and training made readily available. So beginning with my first category, effective communication, I divided into these five main key points. First, the one is that UNESCO, this international organization, have recently emphasized the curriculum development of the core competences in education. Also, JACMA, this author, supports the idea that the level of retention in learning is the same for online and face-to-face instruction. Hadania also supports this idea, stating that the quality of learning through an online teacher is the same as for a real teacher in person. Hirsch in 2017 stated that infusing important soft skills in traditional academic course can improve employability in a research that he made with a group of Black youth people. He also mentioned that the mock job interview is an option to gain skills for effective communication prior to their students' graduation, that they can practice and rehearsal how to interact in an interview, in a job interview. Bergman also mentioned this alternative of classroom. They call it flip classroom. And it is basically, it consists of recorded classes and provide the videos online to enable students to watch them before the class. So by the time they go to class, after watching these videos at home, they are able to interact with peers and just focus more on solving complex concepts. If they have questions, teacher can answer, or between peers, they can collaborate on building an informed decision or an informed knowledge. These kind of flip classrooms engage students and encourage them to communicate with their peers and teacher across various learning spaces at home, in class, and also in field learning. I found a very interesting article saying that in England, they are working on building this School of the Future program, where they are creating learning center workplaces for collaborative culture of students. This innovation goes beyond building renovation. They don't just focus on creating new spaces where students can interact and collaborate. They are also trying to say that this goes beyond a physical building. They are trying to basically what we are doing right now, just enhance students to write journals online, doing research on internet, meeting in groups to plan and make their websites and their digital media presentation. They are trying to, instead of focusing on the traditional classroom where the professor is stand in front of the students, just imparting the lecture and sending the students to do some homework activities. They are trying to focus more on this flipped classroom, where the lecture is provided for both, where both are participating and they are creating a classroom activity. So I also cover a little about external factors that influence the effective communication. As I mentioned in my literature map, I covered something about ELLs and the classification made by schools and how this impact, they have a significant impact on lower tests when they classify ELLs and EFEP. So ELLs are English language learners and EFEP in initial fluent English proficiency. Omansky finds that students who are classified as ELLs comparison with the other students have significant lower test scores in math and English language. Also, oral communication among English as a second language or English as a foreign language. These two, I found an article that says that they experience having speech anxiety, which is a mental block during oral communication. Makronsky and Daly conclude that this anxiety can also, not that the professor is provoking, but the professor has a great impact on how English students that are trying to communicate in a second language or in a foreign language experience this, because sometimes the instructor tend to ignore or consider that learners with high speech anxiety or apprehension as low achievers, and as a result do not expect much from them. Also, I found some pedagogical sources that declare that the most important factor that produce anxiety are pedagogical sources, such as linguistic factors, social factors, and psychological factors. Going into my second category, leadership strategies, I say that transformational leadership, many authors concur with the idea that collaborate as a teamwork is very important. Collaborative learning is a learning type to achieve a mutual work through teamwork. Some of the characteristics of being a leader as an educator are communication, being an effective communicator and facilitate this communication, apply theory but also practice, the use of technology, to being a model and teach ethics, to knowledge and experience, to keep the knowledge but also experience in field, pedagogical understanding, and lifelong learning model. So I found some important data, and Peyton defined digital literacy as the basic knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed by all citizens to be able to deal with computer technology in their daily life. So almost 25 of a study group of 43,000 adults labeled themselves as inexperienced in computer usage. What are some of the benefits of technology and how they help students to learn? Well, help students to prepare for the future, because students will become equipped to face a highly technology future and will be able to easily adapt. Authors also mention adaptability as another soft skills, and it also improves students' communication skills. Education technology, continue with my third topic, is this important data from the National Center for Education indicate that across the 16,000 public schools, 55% are enrolled in distance education courses, but almost no infrastructure has been developed to prepare teachers for online specific environments. And as the National Council of English Teacher Organization suggests, is that learners need to be moved from content consumers, traditional classroom, to content curators, to content creators, to understand more the terminology about content creators. The author suggests these questions, to answer these questions, to help orient learners as part of a content creator. Do learners make creative decisions with intention, developing and using skills associated with modality? Do learners communicate information and ideas in a variety of forms and for diverse purposes? These are just some of the questions suggested by the author, but they are very interested if we try to answer it by ourselves. Technology is an effective tool that can make education more meaningful and engaging for teachers and students. And I would like to go deep in a future research about some other countries or some other schools that are working with this kind of building schools of future programs, and which kind of technology they are using to keep engaging the students, and also covering a little about English language learners and English as a second language and how they impact the developing of these soft skills. And I want to conclude with this phrase from David Warlick that says that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hands, because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world. And this is it. Thank you very much.